Let's see. I was sort of like looking for ways. Like I've kind of bounced around different characters,
Yep.
and this is one of those characters where, at least for me, he kind of gets me like engaged in the game, thinking about it in different ways. So I was looking like different videos, of course, of how to play him,
Sure.
and seen several different like tip videos and things like that. And then I did come across one of your coaching videos for it, and that was like, oh, I didn't know we could do that. But
Nice. Okay. Cool. Cool. How long you been playing Overwatch?
uh, I don't. I want to say probably just above a year. I started playing Overwatch the season before Malga came out.
Got it. Okay, sounds good. And then I assume that you must have tried a few different characters and kind of settled in on Weaver. How did that kind of process go for you?
The process. So originally, it was pretty fun process. I'm lucked out because I started playing with like the first person I started playing with. I had met them on like Dead by Daylight, and then they were like, "Do you play Overwatch?" I'm like, "No." And looking back on it again, I feel like I was very lucky because this person was like, "Okay, we're gonna go to practice range. We're gonna show you what all the heroes do."
Nice, nice. That's
And
perfect,
so
actually.
I was like, "Okay." And then so we did initial rundown because support. I'm that just where I was gonna fit in anyway. 'Cause I was like, I like this idea. But
Mm-hmm.
first character initially was Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
Mercy. She's still very fun to play. It was just something of like adrenaline, like dopamine rush of just rushing around the battlefield like a little battle medic.
Yeah.
But um, then as I progressed, I did Lucio, and then I've kind of bounced around everyone. Initially, when I first picked up Lifeweaver, I was awful, and I was like, I'm never playing this again. Never doing this. But I didn't quite get the hang of it, and this is before I kind of realized, like counterplay, like stuff like that. I was just doing like what I knew the buttons could do,
Right.
and
Right.
so as I kind of got more into that, because I started like playing like Baptiste a little bit, and I was like, oh, he can do this, and then like I think one of the like being able to like use like mo field like to like for like a diva bomb, that was like I was like, we can do that, okay. And so
Right.
then I really got like into like, okay, what character can do what?
Right.
And I got back to life. We were kind of like, okay, we're gonna come back to try again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And initial that I did find videos. I think one of them is like Reform Ravi, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
he's
okay.
crazy.
I, right. I was like, okay, that's I, I like it. Which for me, because even though it's like FPS shooter, it's one of those things where I didn't have the mechanics just yet to be like the carrier through damage. So I found a lot of
Yeah.
my value like through like, okay, I can either help enable you or help shut something down rather
Yep.
than that like offensive value. So
Yeah, I got you.
I ended up gravitating to the way he played, and then it's kind of been like a love-hate relationship ever since then. Like I
Yeah.
love playing the character, but there are times it's just like, okay, could I have done something? Did I do something?
Right, right, right. Yeah, I guess maybe that's like one of the biggest limitations with Lifeweaver is that even if you do play perfectly, there are some fights, it's a little like Mercy, where there's just only so much you can do, right? So it's really about squeezing
Yeah.
as much value as you possibly can out of the character. The good news is that you've seen Reform Ravi. Like there's a lot that you can do, but I would say there's overall a little bit less than some of the other supports. So I like to look at Lifeweaver as like a multiplicative effect over what your teammates can provide. And if your teammates don't do their job, then you're not going to be able to win games. But the good news is that you can amplify every good decision they make, right? And so
Hmm.
it's up to you to basically create some of your own opportunities to win in where you can. But in the meantime, you need to be amplifying their impact every single time they do something. And so we need to make sure that you're consistently and constantly doing that. So all right, so we're on Lifeweaver. Your form says you want to pinpoint exactly what I could do to improve my gameplay and overall experience in Overwatch. Now that's interesting. So the gameplay, yeah, but you want to improve your overall experience. What do you feel like is lacking in your experience right here?
My experience, that for me is just I feel like again because I still I guess technically like would be a baby player I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's one of those things where I'm at the point where I'm like, in hindsight, I was or like right after something happens, I was like, wait, could I have done something? Was
Yeah.
that avoidable? And like those like gameplay instincts of okay, don't do this, and
Right.
like things like that. So when I say experience, I want to be able to kind of like not necessarily just with Lifeweaver, but like see what I'm not even sure if that's possible. Like see like what is where like there's certain things like okay, well you
Yeah.
can take this as a character that you're trying to play.
Yeah, I
Like
get that. I get what you're saying. So it's like basically some of your frustration is through like, is there anything I can do? And you kind of knowing there was something I can do would make you feel a little bit better.
yeah, it's just kind of like okay, like how much of that was is kind of like pinpointing what exactly is the thing where it's like okay, was that like me not just being not aware of that situation?
Right, right.
Was that a gamer sense issue?
Yeah, yeah, I got
It's
you. I
kind of
got
like
you.
it feels like my problems are a little blended. Like I don't know which one. Like okay, wait, was that like me not knowing what to do with Lifeweaver, or was that just James?
Yeah, I get
Messing up
that.
in general.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Okay, so yeah, we'll take a look then. Okay, so you're playing around 2 to 3 hours a day, but sometimes you take a day or so break. Do you mostly play ranked? Do you play quick play? Do you play with friends? Do you play solo queue? I know it's mostly Lifeweaver, but break me down how that looks.
Uh, I mostly play. I would say I gravitate between. I do mostly play ranked, but I do kind of like play a lot of quick play too.
Sure.
Because I'm at the point where they both kind of feel the same a little bit
Yeah, sure,
for
sure,
me. So
sure. I
I
got you.
kind of
Okay.
ranked. I play by like warm up and quick play.
Okay, sure. How long do you warm up?
Uh, Ideally, I try to go for 3 matches, and
Okay.
then after that, I'm like, okay, then I try to be like, okay, if I like feel like I'm okay comfortable, like I'm in a space I'm able to go,
Sure.
like okay, or
Yeah, I
if it's
got you.
like okay, those were kind of awful, we're gonna warm up a little bit more. So it
Okay.
varies.
What I would say ideal is that like really your whole mindset needs to kind of gravitate towards ranked being just a good practice mode, right? So like if you don't feel like you're playing all that well, I know it's scary to say this, but you really shouldn't avoid ranked. You know, like your mindset is that like ranked is just the most competitive environment for you to practice. So even if you're not playing that well, it doesn't really matter. You're there to do and practice something specific. We'll give you those specific things, and that's really it. Whether you play well or whether you don't. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
And the only reason that we say ranked is better, two reasons. One, it's a little bit sweatier, which means there's a little bit better practice value, right?
Hmm.
It's not much better than quick play. Like you said, quick play can be pretty sweaty too, but it's just a little bit better. But the other thing, and a lot of people don't think about this, it's better for queue times. Because even if ranked has a longer queue time than quick play, you're doing attack and defense. So unless you're doing a push map, I actually, you know what? Quick play push is shorter, so never mind. But all the game modes outside of King of the Hill are all longer because you do both sides, right? So it's just a
Yeah.
little bit more efficient use of your time for more gameplay for your buck. Quick play, you spend more time in queues is basically where we're at.
Okay.
So I wouldn't treat rank like it's some like secret special training ground. It's just practice. It's a little bit sweatier and it's a little bit more efficient use of your time. That's it. That's really it.
Okay.
So if you're chilling with friends and you want to play quick play, that's fine. If you play like a couple hours of Lifeweaver and you're feeling kind of tired and you don't really want to practice and you just want to play for fun, I would always do quick play. So let's put it this way. When you're playing to practice, always ranked. When you're playing for fun, always quick play. That's the rule.
Okay.
That's the rule.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you might have fun in practice. I mean, I hope so. Otherwise, why are you doing this, right? But if you really feel
Yeah.
like I don't really feel like trying, I just kind of want to show up and just screw around, that's fine for quick play. That's it. Yeah, you shouldn't worry about winning in rank, but you should worry about the effort that you're putting in. So, okay.
Okay.
Well, let's see here. You want to improve your understanding of Lifeweaver, fix careless mistakes, dissect enemy comps, and cooldown track. Okay. Long term, I'd like to learn at least one other support to play, sharpen your gameplay mechanics to reach top 500, find a strong and coordinated team. Okay. So what? Here, let's break down each of these. So learn at least one other support to play. I would start doing that now. Now, what I would
I've been
say,
working on it now.
yeah.
As one of the, I do bounce around. I don't, even though like Weaver's the one, I would say that's my most confident one because again, that's where I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I have a best understanding of what he's capable of.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I got you.
everyone else I've looked at, but it's just. But I do bounce around. I bounce around. I
Yeah,
think it's either him, Anna, or Baptiste, where it's like that little trifecta
perfect.
of like, okay.
What I would say is you can do. Remember we said like the whole quick play for fun thing. Use quick play
Mhm.
for the where you just put the hours in on the other supports. You know, screw around, have
Okay.
some fun. See, and the biggest thing for deciding what the other support needs to be, and you probably know this already, but it just needs to be the support that you have the most fun playing. Because like you could go Lifeweaver Lucy, you could do Lifeweaver Bap, you could do Lifeweaver On, you could do Lifeweaver Zen, you could do Lifeweaver Mercy. There's like little, it doesn't really matter. It's really your choice. So just whatever support, like when you're playing in quick play, you're like, man, I really like playing this guy. Or like I'm gonna put, then that's it. There's your second hero. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be super strategic or anything like that, frankly. Like any sort of diversity is useful in Overwatch. So, just play Lifeweaver in ranked right now, and then you can just chill with the other hero in quick play. And then when you feel like you're a little bit more confident, you could adapt it into your ranked pool. But there's no rush on that.
Okay.
Okay, so sharpen gameplay mechanics. All right. Now you're on console, correct?
Yeah.
So I think I would, if you haven't done this already, I would do a little bit of YouTube research on optimal console settings, whether that's sensitivity, visual settings. There's probably going to be a little bit of some mixed signals about what's good and what's not good. But what I would do is I would tweak to make sure there's nothing that you've messed up or got really bad, and just toy with some of the other ones and see what feels most comfortable for you. But I do think like at least one run through of just making sure that your settings are correct would be helpful. Now I can't help you with that because I'm a console idiot. I don't know anything about console, frankly. But I would. There are resources out there. I know.
Okay.
Beyond that, it's just practice, really. Reach top 500. Okay. Find a strong and coordinated team. And yeah, so like, in other words, do you want to like start scrimmaging and like playing with a team at some point?
Yes, I have found this game even like the top 500, like that's like for
Yeah.
me heaven goal right there.
Yeah. 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 I got you.
One of the things where it's like the team part of it, I do find this is better with a team.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
and then which is also the double-edged sword, which I play so much solo queue and so alone. When I feel like when I do get into a team, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
coordinating with you guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get you. I get you. I mean, the good news is that like solo queue really hones your individual skill of the character. I think more so than anything else, right? But if you're trying to like work, like coordinate and communicate, those are skills that you develop more with a team. What might be fun for you is just to find a group of friends that plays quick play together for fun, and just like
Okay.
find a social group. Because most people, even like really high level players, the biggest upside of like we're playing in a team is it's just fun.
Hmm.
And so if you ever like, oh, I want to finding a group of people or a couple of people or just even one person to queue it just for fun and quick play or whatever might be fun. Now the tricky thing is that might not be the best way to rank up. Certainly is not. Solo queue is always the best way. Just focus on yourself. But if the ultimate goal is like I do like playing with other people, then you can do that in the meantime. Okay, on order, my mechanics need to get better, but nowhere near it should be. We could talk a little bit about how to improve your mechanics. So let me actually start streaming really quick here. This is kind of a little detail here that we can talk about. So Lifeweaver, people talk about like not the most mechanical related character, but it is important that you're able to like move comfortably and aim when necessary. I think even some of the tweaks, like the auto charge heal now, right? That means that there's a little bit more room for damage here and there, right? So finding opportunities to get a little bit of pressure out. I could show you one little tip that you could use. So you talked about warming up with 3 quick play games. Here's what I'd say. Warm up with 1 quick play game. And then instead of, as I'm connecting here, instead of playing a second and a third quick play game, do a little bit of this game code here. So let me, so go to custom games here. And like I said, this will be recorded so you can go back and watch it later. Create, settings, import code, and type VAXTA. So I'll type it in your Discord chat there as well. Vaxta. And spend legitimately just 2 or 3 minutes. That's all. There'll be even a timer for you. Lock your Lifeweaver. Click start warm up, whatever right there.
Hmm.
Why is it not interacting here? That's odd. I think they've been having some server issues today, actually. That's super odd.
Well, that would be my luck, but
Yeah,
essentially
apparently. Yeah, let me try one more. Let me try one more time. It was even slow loading up today. I've been seeing stuff on Twitter that hopefully doesn't bought out in us the replay review as well. Let's try this one more time. Weird. Okay, so basically, here's what it is it's going to have bots that are moving and strafing like real people, essentially going left and right, and basically all you're going to do is you're going to go in there almost like the practice range, but with better targets, and you're going to shoot those bots, and you're going to shoot them as they move. You can change how difficult their movement is, because their movement is really intense. Like they move like crazy high-level players, right? And you could tone it down. And it's just like 2 or 3 minutes of just aim practice, just to secure those kills, and you're going to feel really bad. You're going to feel like, oh, my mechanics are the worst. Don't worry about it. These bots move really, really difficultly. So just give it like a minute or two and do that every day. One quick play game, and then you're good to go. Jump into ranked.
Okay.
And you do that for a couple of months, your mechanics are going to slowly get better. Trust me. Okay, understanding. As I climb my finite struggle with understanding the dynamics of a team fight, we'll talk a little bit about that for Lifeweaver in the review. Mentality, on top of that, getting frustrated when losing. We'll call it negative feedback that discourages me from using the comms. So talk to me a little bit about that. I want to hear more about that.
And the more I play this game, the more competitive essentially I've gotten.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's not so much that I'm like, awesome. It's kind of like, what didn't I do? Like, it's kind of hard, especially in certain comps where it's like, they're like, well, Mercy, Lifeweaver, that's not a lot of damage being output by support. So I'm like, was that my reasoning? Or it's one of the things where it's like, I'll kind of hyperfixate on like, okay, what am I not doing?
Yeah. Okay.
And then go down that rabbit hole. Like I'm beginning to like pull out a rabbit hole sometimes. I'm able to save myself, but like in the moment, it's kind of like that,
Yeah.
Okay, what did I do? Or like,
yeah.
When you feel like, oh, I died a lot. Okay.
Right.
That was on me.
Right. Is it feedback that you're giving yourself from not knowing what to do, or is it also external feedback from people in the voice comms with you?
Yeah, it's been that too, actually.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing that I've noticed. Even in like mid to high ranks on PC too, like it could be pretty toxic. And I won't even say it could be pretty toxic sometimes. It's pretty toxic about half the time.
It is, honestly.
It really is. It really is,
the only person talking. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. The way that I look at communication is it's a responsibility or it's a privilege, right? You have to show that you have good communication before you're allowed to use it. The problem is that everybody's allowed to use it. And it's always been like this. More than half the time, communication is a negative than anything else. The reason why teams coordinate so well in like coordinated team environments and all that kind of stuff is because they're friends. Right. Mm-hmm. So when you're giving feedback to somebody that you're going to be a lot more productive and you're going to give nice, constructive criticism. Right. And you're going to coordinate better. Whereas in an uncoordinated, just a ranked environment, even at the highest level, a lot of it's just people getting frustrated at each other. Right. Or, throwing blame around. So here's what I'd say is you're more than welcome to use communication as much as you like. But if you ever feel like it's distracting you, just turn it off and focus on your own gameplay. Because it's not only going to be not productive, but it's going to actually make you play worse. It's going to distract you. I climbed to Grandmaster without using voice comms. I turned on voice comms in Grandmaster because they were slightly more productive than they were in lower ranks. But I'd still say about half of the games when I was in Grandmaster, I still turned off voice because they started to get distracted a little bit. And we'd win those games too. It wasn't even like, oh, everyone was just mad, boom, the game was lost. Sometimes it'd be games that were like winning and people are still being like yelling at each other, right? So it's like...
Absolutely. I'm like, wait. Like,
yeah, it's like, what's the point, right? It's what's the point, right? And it's not like everybody's toxic, right? It's just one bad apple ruins the bunch, right? One bad person in the team, 1 out of 5 players is, toxic. Honestly, even the enemy team, you got match chat yapping, right? One bad person. I don't know how often people use that in console, but like, it ruins it. So it's like, I think the best way to coordinate is to use your eyes, to look at what people are doing and try to read or anticipate. And we'll talk about using that game sense today, because I will say so myself. That's probably my biggest strength, right? When I'm playing the game, as a coach, I have a pretty good game sense, pretty good game knowledge, so I can anticipate a lot of stuff before it happens. But I don't have to communicate it. I can see it. I can coordinate it, right? So I think that's going to be our challenge today. And then I'll also say, when it comes to you being frustrated at yourself, if it is through not knowing what to do, well, we're going to talk about that today. we're going to give you some stuff to do. We're going to explain when and where you can have impact here and there. Because I'm trust me, I'm with you. When there's nothing more frustrating than not knowing what to do. Nothing more frustrating. That's the worst. Okay, consistency. One match, I feel like the team MVP. The next match, the team liability. It happens. That's everybody. The only thing you can do with consistency is play consistently, which it sounds like you're doing, and go in with consistent goals, which we'll have after today. Everybody's inconsistent. Everybody's inconsistent. One of the stories I used to say is that the most common problem that I had when I worked with pro players is they would tell me that they were the most inconsistent player. Every single professional player that I ever worked with told me they were inconsistent. So everybody's inconsistent.
Okay.
There's just two. Yeah. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody plays well. Everybody doesn't play well. The thing about a PvP game, it is not like how many push-ups can you do today? How many push-ups can you do tomorrow? How many push-ups can you do the day after that? Right? That you might be a little bit inconsistent with that, but you probably won't be that inconsistent. The problem in a PvP game is you might have a good day and a bad day, but also the enemy team or enemy player might have a good day and a bad day. So think about it this way. If you're having a good day and the enemy team has a good day too, you might feel like I'm not really having a good day. I'm just having a normal day. But then you play somebody that's having a bad day and all of a sudden you're like superstar.
Yeah.
But then what if you're having a bad day and you play somebody that's having a bad day? It's not that bad. But then you play somebody that's having a good day. You kind of see what I'm saying? There's too many variables. Yeah. You are an inconsistent player playing versus inconsistent enemies. So we talk about the things. It's not just one inconsistency variable. There's two. So it could be a total mess. It could be a total mess. So just do your job as best as you possibly can and don't worry too much about it. Miss anxiety, this may just be me, but I get flustered in the heat of battle. It's not just you. It's Overwatch. That's not just you. I lose track of what I'm supposed to be doing or ult tracking and so on. Yeah. So basically the way to look at it is that in Overwatch, there's always like 4 or 5 things that you probably should be paying attention to. Your positioning, your teammates' positioning, the enemy teammates' positioning, the enemy teammates' cooldowns and or ultimates. Okay, and that's not even tracking your cooldowns. Like there's at least 5 or 6 things all the time. The problem is that you may only be able to focus on one of those things at a time. So what happens is that your autopilot, the things that you can do without thinking, needs to be really good. The problem is that yours isn't really good. It's better than it was at the start when you first started playing Overwatch. Like there's a lot of things that you do automatically right now that you couldn't do when you first started, but it's not where you want it to be yet. So what you try to do is you're like, all right, there's 6 things that I need to track. I messed up that last fight, so I'm going to do a better job tracking that. So you put focus on that one thing. Then one of the other things goes wrong. I was tracking the ultimate and I forgot about Genji flanking me and I died to Genji flanking me. Crap, I need to remember to track Genji's positioning. So the next fight you track Genji's positioning. Oh, I forgot they had Earth Shatter. I was out of position. I got shattered and now I die. Now I need to be tracking ult and oh wait, I forgot about Genji again. I die. You kind of see what I'm saying? You're going around in a circle. You need to be okay with being really stupid in something for a little bit.
Okay.
The reason is that it's like imagine trying to learn how to unicycle and juggle at the same time, right? You got to ride the unicycle first, or you got to learn how to juggle first. Then you can start to do the other ones. You got to practice one thing for a game, 2 games a day, right? Then the next day, even if you haven't really mastered the other skill, then you practice the other thing. So today it might be a positioning day, or it might be a positioning game, or it might be an ult tracking game, or a cooldown tracking game. You kind of see what I'm saying? Yeah. So don't force yourself in one game to practice more than one thing. You can change it every game. You could change it every day. You could change it every week. That's fine. You can mix it up. Have fun with practice. But you shouldn't get upset at yourself for not being able to juggle and unicycle and sing and balance something on your nose at the same time. Because that is what Overwatch is. It's what it is. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Right. Exactly. And the thing is, you don't need to. For example, where are you at right now? Silver?
Yes.
Okay. So for you to get gold, you don't need to do all those things. You just need to do some of those things a little bit, tiny bit better, and more consistently. So you need to be a little bit better with your positioning, maybe a little bit better in your mechanics, and maybe a little bit better with your ult tracking. I'm not like 5-10%, really. Then you'll get to gold. And then to get to plat, you got to be about 10 to 15%. Like, you're not really going to master any skill until you get to Grandmaster top 500. And honestly, not even then. Like even Grandmaster and top 500 still screw up the most basic stuff, right? So just enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. Okay, so last two things here. Sleep is a little bit on the lower end. I don't want to beat you up too much over that, but especially in a multitasking game like Overwatch, that can be difficult. So keep that in mind. And then finally here, you said you've watched some of my videos and you've incorporated some of the advice, and that has definitely improved your gameplay. Nice. So what things did you try practicing?
Thing to try practicing, the one I can remember immediately offhand would be, when you have them like, and when you fill up like the match at the beginning, and you're like, okay, who is the target priority? Like, who is on your team? Who would you pull here? Who would you not pull? Things like that. Yeah. And so that's gotten better. I've learned I'm a Bastion babysitter. But things like that I'm really good at. I'm gonna say really good, but
better,
much better at where I'm like, okay, I can anticipate when you're about to need help a little bit more, or like I know to be like, okay, either leave you alone, let you do your thing, and then okay, where is Bastion? He all right? Okay, and keep going.
Okay, good. Well, good. I'm glad. That's excellent. And that's exactly it. When I asked you what you need and what you've improved at, you said a little bit better tracking of who's going to need my help and who's going to be under pressure, and then being there for them. And you also said, I've not fixed the issue, but I've gotten a little bit better. Great. That's all that we ask, right? You're never going to be perfect with anything, so just enjoy that process. Good. All right. I don't have any other questions for you. Do you want to look at some gameplay here?
Yeah.
All right. Shoot me the replay code, or you can read it out loud, or whatever works for you.
Okay, so this is where me being the worst millennial ever comes in.
No, that's all right. So let me show you really quick. So you're going to go into your career. Are you on your console right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so pull up your career profile down there. And then history at the top tab there. And then on the left, go down to replays. And then you're going to scroll through until you find a map that you like. You're like, oh, I want to look at that one. I look at that one. So when you click it, you're going to click on it or select it. And the bottom right there says share. And it's going to create a code. And then you can just read that code out to me.
Okay. Here. Okay. It's Q farm Q. All capital.
So wait, what is it again?
QFARMQ.
Wait, really? You're kidding?
Yes.
I don't know the last time I've had an all letter, and then there's just like, that's bizarre. That might be the weirdest code I've ever received. Congratulations, I guess. That's wild. Okay, Q farm Q. I heard you say that, and I was like, I must be mishearing. All right, well there you go. Let's take a look then. Okay, so I love the name, by the way. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Let's get this all situated here.
Ironic sometimes, but that's why it's hilarious.
Yeah. I'm a big Sirius Black fan too. I think that guy's pretty cool. So. All right, so Lifeweaver, you've seen my videos. You've talked about the intergalactic emperor positioning, right, where you're controlling in multiple different angles, and you can see everybody, you can heal everybody, can pull everybody. The big thing that's changed, two big things that's changed with the change, is number one, is you can kind of have your pedal now, instead of just being as an escape tool, your pedal can kind of be a permanent fixture to just in case anybody wants high ground, it's there. So kind of like what you did with this pedal here, I really like this. If this Roadhog ever wants to take high, it's there, anytime. You could have done the same thing with your Symmetra here. It really doesn't matter, but this is great. And that's changed. That used to not be that case, but that's perfect. The other thing is the auto heal, right? So basically what that kind of means is that you can do this kind of stuff more often. Like you can look for early pressure, and there's no urgency to heal, because anytime this Ashe takes significant damage, the heal's bam, immediately there. So basically it's kind of using that auto charge heal. So anytime that you don't need to be major healing, you're putting out a little bit of damage, you're putting out a little bit of pressure as much as you can. Those are the major changes. Beyond that, heal, damage, look for somebody who's playing aggressively and help them stay alive. So,
Okay.
see, like, even this here, this sounds crazy, and I appreciate the heal here, but you have an 80 heal pre-charged, so I actually don't want you healing her until she's taken a little bit more damage. I want you doing more damage than this guy here. You see this?
Okay.
Because you have 80 healing primed here, and she's only taken 26 damage, right? So even if she, like, you just let her, like, put out a little bit more damage, then give that pop right there. And that's the big thing that's changed, you know? Lunge, good. Good. No complaints here. And again, I think this is where you can kind of use that auto charge heal. So the rule of the auto charge heal is if nobody's really taking any significant damage. So as soon as you heal that Ashe basically to full. I know this is like terrible visual clutter, so we'll kind of go to the side here. Do you see everyone's health pools here?
Yeah.
This is when you damage.
Okay.
Nobody's really in any serious danger whatsoever. Your heal's going to charge itself partially. So take that, like, you got a min-max to this character, right? So anytime there's no serious damage or no serious damage being taken, then get some damage out. Now, if there's nobody to shoot, then yeah, you might as well charge a heal because there's nothing else better to do, right? But right now, you could be breaking bubble. You could be breaking bubble. Your damage isn't bad. It's hard to hit shots, but your damage isn't bad. So anytime there's anything easy to shoot, I want you to do it. Good. Play to live. And then right here, heal that Moira, and then back to damage. So the thing to point out here is like right here. You jump out, you see your Moira's critical, so you pop her a heal. Bam. Then right here, it's the second heal, it's a mistake. This should be instead damage right here, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, other than that, pretty good. Sombra's kind of annoying, but Lifeweaver, it's not bad to be pressured, right? You got a lot of survivability, so kind of being bait in a way, and then avoiding it, lunging it, living it, all that kind of stuff. Okay, where should this pedal have been? Who's going to use it, and where do they want to go?
No, I just knew she was there, so I was like, I'm gonna get it where I can reach it.
Oh, so this is what you were thinking about yourself?
Yes, I was like,
okay.
I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna dash down, jump up, go somewhere.
It's not a bad strategy, but obviously, you know, it could be better. So think it through. This is the Lifeweaver chess mode. You know, you got to be a strategist here. You know.
Probably would it be closer to my team that would be the better place?
So it would be better if you're helping them. Like if you don't need to worry about the Sombra, throw the pedal here, right? Let these guys take top, right? But like let's say it is for just you, right? Because I actually think using it for you versus the Sombra, the Winston, that's good. I'm okay with that. But then I still don't know if this is the best way to use it. You kind of see what I'm saying? Like I'm still not sure. So like then where right, so where would you put it if it was just for you? I want you to think a little bit strategically here.
Probably behind the bridge.
Yeah, like here.
That way I could jump back down and then
right. Right.
Okay.
It's the same thing, but the difference is back here there's a little bit more cover and you're jumping away from your threats rather than having to go towards out in the open to get away from the Sombra. You see the problem here? So for you to run away from the Sombra, you end up running right towards the rest of the enemy team, and you're standing out in the open. Whereas here, if you disengage out this way, you got cover, and then you can go back behind again the bridge. So you have just a little bit more cover, a little bit more distance. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Heck, you could even throw the pedal like here. So then if the Sombra goes for you, lunge on the pedal, lift yourself up in the sky, and then now she can't shoot you anymore. That would also work too. Yeah, I like it. So that's the thing. This is why this character's hard, right? There's like, what do I really want to do? What is the maximum use of my value here and there? And see, now you're kind of cooked, right?
Yeah.
So because you're not positioned with you or your pedal to really live this Sombra HP, and so now you're dead, right? That's the difference right there. Yeah. It's a little bit of what I like to call like preparation, right? You anticipate what's going to happen. You think strategically, where do I need to go? Where do I need to be? And then when it happens, you don't even need to think. You just bam. You already knew what exactly was going to happen. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, notice how long it took you to think of the solution. Right? Yeah. What that tells me is you need more practice thinking about how to solve that problem. You just need more practice thinking about it. over and over and over again, right? So we'll practice that in this review, but you need to practice it in game. Like right now, as soon as you get a chance to, where do you need to be? Where's it? Okay, I like it. I like this. Yeah, this is good. This is good. This is good. I like this. Better sight line, right? Kind of see everything going on. Yeah. But now your next pedal. Okay, so then am I going to get dove? Does my teammate want to pedal? Where do I need to be? Where do I need to be my pedal? You're going to have it in about 3 seconds. So problem solve. Where do you want to be with that pedal? Do you need it for yourself?
Probably not.
Okay.
No, well,
it's tough, isn't it? Right? I think you might need it. I think you might need it. Okay, but why? Why?
I knew I use it selfishly. I was just anticipating the Sombra because
I'm with you on that one. And I'm also thinking about Winston too. I'm thinking about there's a lot of characters that want to get on top of you, right? They want to ruin your day. So you might need to think, okay, so where does this pedal need to be?
Honestly, probably back behind the bus.
Back here?
Or probably where either I can get to that ledge or the ledge immediately across from it.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm thinking the same thing. Like even here, right? Like that. Yeah. Again, it's kind of like, do I want to lunge out and then take the elevator right back to where I came from? Just juke them. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got it. That's it right there. That's a strategy I think you can use more often if you feel like you're going to get dove. We'll call it like a juke pedal, right? Just basically disengage, drop, and then retake the high ground. Just kind of avoid it. You got it. So this pedal here is just not quite exactly what we want. It's close, but it's not quite there, right? You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. Just shoot, and then you need heal. Was this avoiding the Sombra behind you, I think? I saw you lunge forward, and I was like, what are we cooking here?
I lunged forward. Now, I know, like, I did watch a little bit of it. I knew she was behind me.
Yeah.
I know she's behind me. I don't know in the moment if that's what that was for. I'm being honest, I think I panicked and didn't want anyone to die and just ran in front of them.
I gotcha. Good bit of damage. That's all right. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I think, that's a good pull. Good tree as well. Tree, like, listen, the thing with tree is as long as there's a fight going on, I don't care when, where you tree. Just use it, you know? Because, like, think about how much it's allowed you to stabilize and live and hold your space. It's not going to counter a big Nanoblade EMP combo, but it will help. Good pedal, wow. I think that's the only thing I'm seeing with your positioning here is sometimes you tend to move forward here, right? So you you jump here, and if you're going to lunge correctly, where do you need to go from here?
Probably backwards, ideally toward that ledge.
And that's it, right? Always to that ledge if you can. And so you lunge, you just kind of drop, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's going to put you under a little bit too much pressure. But yeah, okay. Doing a good job, man. This is like really good. Like I'm so sad that you didn't kill her, or save her. But to me, it's the thought's there. You're thinking, right? You're thinking. You're not just getting tunneled like this right here. I don't know many Silver Lifeweavers that would have done this, right? They would not have had that presence of mind to turn around and see like what's going on, and then turn around twice. Like you were thinking a lot, and I respect it.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. It's real good. And I see even you attempting to weave in some damage here as well. Good pull again, but again, you're just too far forward, too close. I think what the Sombra is doing is the Sombra is scaring you into bad positions.
Okay.
Right? Now I know she's there. I know it. She's somewhere. So, but there has to be a better solution for you. Think it through. So you failed the kill or the heal. She's out. Now what? You got pedal. Your team is here. What do you think?
I did not know she was there, right there at the time.
But you know she's somewhere here, right? What do you think?
Probably back a little bit more, but having the pedal somewhere where I could get to high ground, or
yeah, sure. Here's a question: is there anywhere you could go where she can't see you from high ground, and maybe you could use the pedal to retake high ground? This is. Let me be honest. This is hard. This is not. I don't expect you to know this in the moment. And you don't even need to master this to get to gold. I'll tell you this much. But I think you're smart enough to figure it out.
Probably either of those little rooms. Right
Yeah.
under the.
Yeah. Okay, so then you're going to position here. This is great. Okay, it's hard for Sombra to get to you. If she does get for you, you got cover, right? You can get to cover, right? You can get around her. Okay, so then where does your pedal go? So you're here, but where's the pedal? Do you need it selfishly?
That's a good question.
It's close, right? So let's put it this way. It could go
Yeah.
either way. Yes and no. You can do it selfishly. So if you were going to do it selfishly, where would you put it here to save yourself? So you're in the room.
I would probably. I would put it like right next to the. Well, not right next to the door, but close to the door.
Okay.
Which either would bait her to either hack it, so I know she was there, or
Yeah.
she would come in. I can just run out and jump on it.
Yeah. So you jump out here, and then you're up here. I mean, that's perfect. That's it. You solved it. Nice job. There's your strategy right there. That's perfect. 10 out of 10. Could not do better. Now, let's say that you didn't think you needed it selfishly. What could you do to help your teammates in terms of pedal positioning here? Where would you put it? So you're still here. So where would you put the pedal?
Somewhere close to the bus, so that way they at least can. When they lift, they're above the bus, they can do damage. But if they start taking damage, they can jump behind, and the bus is.
You got it. You solved it. Yeah. Again, pedal just to take either the bus or this high ground here. You got it. You got it.
Okay.
All right. There's your answer. Now it took you about 30 seconds, right? Which is you don't have 30 seconds at a team fight. But I challenge you to keep trying. Right? You're basically playing speed chess, but you're not quite capable of doing it just yet. But I still want you to try, because you will solve these things. You will. Because you can look at this now and be like, oh, yeah, this is too close. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I can't see my team now. I'm not positioned well. Nice kill. Wow. Wait, okay, I got to know what just happened here. Oh, the whole hog knocked her off the map. That's hilarious. Yeah, this is it. You solved it. You solved it. Well done. Same thing here, right? Just a little close. A little close, and I want you in your cover. And then obviously we don't have a pedal plan either. And so there you go. Bam. You know, it's funny. You've died more to Winston than you have to Sombra. And yet you're giving Sombra all your attention. Sombra's worth your attention. She is. But you need to be able to be strategic about thinking about both Winston and Sombra. Like the damage. Good stuff. Get her. Oh, almost got her. Okay. Same thing here. You got pedal. You got position. You got a Sombra in your backline somewhere. Where is she? There she is. Problem solve this. Where should you be? What should you be with pedal?
Probably closer to that corner.
Which corner? Front right or
In
back?
the corner right here. I was
Like here? Like here?
Assuming I didn't know where she was. Well, no, Echo's up there. I knew she was. Dang it. No.
I like the corner. I like the corner. Whatever the corner is, whether that's here or here or here, I like cover somewhere. What do you think? So first off, what do you think about your pedal first? Let's start with that. Selfish or
Where would I put
selfless? Yeah,
probably selfish in this case.
I think so too.
And then I would either, if not on that corner, so I could just jump back and down, probably behind me.
Yeah, so just like right behind me in this little flower pedal here, just have like the pedal there and you play the corner. Yep, I'm with you on that one too. Once again, like you've proven the capability to think this thing through and come up with a pretty darn good solution. Better than where you're at right now. Because this situation there, if you're on that top, yeah, your pedal's going to get EMP'd. Can't help with that. But I think your chances of living here are a lot higher than living in here, right? Because half the damage came from the Echo. That's the thing. Good try with a pull. Good damage. Nice job. I like your willingness to whip out the damage when people aren't critical, right? Especially in a big target like Winston, you can do a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Okay. Again, I obviously you pulled the wrong person, but I really love, like, you just know. I just love this. Like, you just know that something's going on back there, right? You're always ready. I really respect that. You got your head in the right spot here. All right, let's see. Can you figure out the positioning here? I don't think you will, because you've already shown that you can't quite think it through yet. But so let's see. What are you gonna do with this tree? You are ready. You are like, I am not gonna be surprised by this Sombra. The only problem is, you notice again though, it's like because you're so attentive to that Sombra, you kind of like where are you, right? You're just kind of hovering in the middle of nowhere. I like the tree though. I like the tree. Your team's gonna really use this tree a lot. You see what I'm saying? Like that Winston commits and just nobody's gonna die. Nobody's gonna die. I like the damage as well. Good. Because your tree is like everyone's kind of full, so why not do some damage? Really good stuff. Really good stuff. Really good. Okay, so what I'm liking here for strengths is awareness of what's going on around you, paying attention to your threats, and then your trees have been really good. Not saving it, just using it. Fight started, we use it. Bam. Perfect. Weaknesses have been sometimes a little too much healing when people are basically full. Like right now, I don't want you charging heal. I want you damaging this Reinhardt. Let the passive heal kick in, right? And then the second thing is your positioning, right, in terms of playing cover, knowing how to solve it. And then the third thing is your pedal. Do I need to use it selfishly or whatever? But you've got a lot of strengths right now. I want to watch a little more, and then I want to see a code when you're not playing versus Sombra or Winston. Because a lot of your games, you're just not going to have anybody that's going to threaten you. So how do you win games when you're not surviving, right? Good. Good pocket. Good pocket. Good damage. And everybody's full. We lunge. Good. A little bit of pedal there, actually. Getting away from the Sombra. I'm just going to kind of zoom through this a little bit faster to see if I have any major critiques that we haven't already said to you before. Any questions so far? Good poll. Wow. Good tree as well. Man, just use the tree. The fight starts. Things get messy. You do not hesitate. This tree is so good. So good. Little close. Take that pedal. Yeah, just the little, notice that? A little too close, and then the pedal, which we've seen is a consistent problem with you. I think you were like, oh, I'm tree, I'm safe, but you still can't be quite there, right?
Okay, yeah.
That being said, this tree still might help you guys. I mean, it kept your Ashe alive for quite a while. This is still winnable because of that tree. Let's see what you got. Good heal. Oh, almost. I know it's hard with Roadhog because you're like, do I want to pull him because he's just going to vape, you know? Like, yeah. Okay. I want to see if they stay on dive heroes on second here. Okay, good. They don't. We can actually look at this if you want to because they're not on Sombra. We can keep going if you want to. Do you want to?
We can.
Okay. Any questions so far?
No, not really. It's just one of the things, I guess, is one of the, I just got to be a bit faster with, like, I guess, the, like I said, strategic part of it, putting like,
right.
The pedal,
right.
Like, pre-thinking it, like, through.
Right. And I want to be specific about what you need to be strategic with. It's about where do I need to be so that I can live? Where's the best place for me? Not just to do damage and heal, but where's the best position where I need to be, period. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then thinking about your pedal. And then thinking about when and where can I do damage. Does anybody need healing right now? Now, I like this because now there isn't any Sombra. There isn't any Winston, you know? So you're not going to need pedal for this. You see what I'm saying? And you're also not going to need to sit a million miles away to poke out necessarily because nobody's going to be diving you. So you've got to get value. These are probably I feel like this may be one of those games on this attack where you might be like, I don't know what I can do. Because you living in the back and treeing dives and helping your team versus Sombra, there's no value here anymore. So what can you do with your positioning? What can you do with your pedal?
It can be a little bit more offensive, I guess. I
guess so too. So where do you need, is it offensive for you, offensive for your team, or offensive for both? What do you got here? Solve the problem for me.
Probably for both. Ideally, a place where I can reach it and to either evade or do offensive pressure, but also where my teammates can do the same.
Yeah. So solve it right here. Let's go. Where does it go? Where do you go?
We probably should have went up top.
I think so too. You got to go. You got to go. It's got to be right now. And this is where the pedal change is amazing because it's not a one and done, right? You place it here. Mm-hmm. You can take it up top. You get value, and then your team can also take it. If your team doesn't take it, doesn't do their job, guess what? This is still good for you. You don't need your team to do what they need to do. This is still good. Heck, you could even get a little saucy with it here, right? You got 275 HP, you got a self-heal, you got the ability to take high ground, and there's no Sombra and Winston to dive you up here. The worst they could do is shoot you, right? You're one of the tankier supports. Let's go. But if you do this, you will lose. Because versus the Winston Sombra, this was good enough to get value because they wanted to get on top of you. Nobody wants to get on top of you now. They just want to shoot your tank. And so you got to provide value, and right now you're providing no value. Not literally no value, but you're providing less value than you should. There, thank you. Good, actually a good pull, but don't just stand here. Take space. You see?
Okay. Shoot
a little bit. That's what your character does. There's the dichotomy of Lifeweaver there. You can either live or you can prevent the enemy team from living. Take good positions, right? Pedal still there. You know, you can even use yourself a little bit as bait, right? I can live. Go ahead, come after me. But this, you really will feel useless if you don't do this.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah,
right here.
yeah. It's a different. Like, and you see how it's a different type of problem solving. It's not the same as I'm in danger. I got to problem solve how I live. It's like I'm not in danger. What value can I get? And usually a lot of it comes down to two things. Can you take a good position with your pedal? Can you do damage with your gun?
Yeah. Okay.
And that's it. Because you don't do the most damage with Lifeweaver, but also, like, if I'm playing Zenyatta or Ana, I can do way more damage than you. But you know what I can't do? I can't get here.
Yeah.
I can't get here. I can't even consider doing this, because if I did this, I'd die. I don't have lunge. I don't have pedal. I don't have 275 HP. Could use a tree if you want here. You're trying to do a little damage here. Good pull. Good tree as well. Again, good tree. Just use it. You know, look at the HP. Look at the space you're getting here. The problem is now is you can't just tree and leave it. What do you got to do again? Yeah. Pedal top. You got to pedal top. You got to go. You got to take that space. You got to put some pressure on that echo. Come on, come on, come on. I'm far enough away. I'm safe. If I get in trouble, I'll lunge down again, retake top. But see, basically what you do is you pedal top, but you just pedal for vision, right? You don't actually pedal for space. I would never push versus like a Winston here, right? Or Genji, right? Or Tracer. It's too close. You could just live versus those guys. But you got to be a strategist here, and you're not. You're just kind of existing. So this is where Lifeweaver is weak, yes, but you can find value, and you're not finding value. That's the difference. So actually, let's play a little bit more here, and then I might actually want to look at another code, maybe a different fight here, because I don't want to say the same things over and over again for the next 5 minutes, right?
Okay.
I'm going to give you some new feedback.
I think it's consistently that.
It's going to be consistently that, right? It's the same thing from you. And again, I will say that, like, you're not the best. Oh, I mean, look what you did. 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 You gave Bob a platform, right? This Moira goes this way to hide from Bob, which normally would have worked, but Bob was up here, right? So guess what? Yeah. Bob pops off. You almost did something there. you know, pedaling Bob is literally the best thing you've done this entire time. Okay, yeah, let's look at another code here. Okay. Any questions?
For that instance when there, I guess, as you like you said, if you're not playing for my life, it should be more like, I guess, closer to offensive.
Yeah, offensive with what you're doing with your weapon and how you're taking space. In other words, what angles am I going to take? What sight lines? What high ground can I take? Because you're tanky. Remember, you're tanky and you're mobile. You're tanky and you're mobile. All right. Read me out another code that preferably has something like that. I don't want to see any more dive here. I mean, it's okay, but I think that would be more useful for you.
Okay. I'm trying to think.
Don't overthink it. We can make whatever work too.
And I went into the thing. Okay. Hang on.
You're good.
Okay, Gibraltar, probably.
All right, let's do it. You remember how to read out the code? I remember it was kind of a multi-step process.
Yeah, I was just trying to find the right video.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then... It's XOEKVB.
BB. Another all-letter one. Weird. Nothing will ever top Q Farm Q though. That's that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, let's take a look here. So yeah, I mean this is a great one. Look at their comp, right? Man, nothing that's really gonna dive you, but they're gonna shoot you in the head. You're gonna have to put some pressure on these guys. So let's see what you do. Now I have a feeling I'm probably gonna know what you're gonna do, right? Yeah. But what we could do is instead of going, oh you're bad, you suck, boo, right? Instead we can go, okay, what could we do differently here, right? So like right now, what space can you control? What angles can you take here, right? There's nothing that's going to dive you. If you don't know by now, you should be able to press select and know, hey, they're on snipers here. You know, what should you do? So you tell me.
I should have probably been on the high ground. Or that
where?
Window right above us. Right above where I'm at.
Right here? Yeah, that's fine.
There or on that ledge over right above Diva.
Yeah, like get over here, right? Get a better angle to shoot this Zarya, right? Better heal. Pop, 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 right? Get over here. Because I'm telling you, you lunge out here, the Zarya might come for you. Take right up here, laugh at her face, right? And, you know, get up here, like, again, and then rotate here, and then go from there, and then maybe even sneak a little angle here, right? And maybe go for like, you have so many options here. You got it. You got it. You got it. Better vision to do damage, because I can see you're trying to do some damage here, but the position isn't very good to do damage. It's too hard, right? It's too far away, right? And then also you're not in a really good position to help people out. So you're playing Sniper Weaver, and you need to get a little bit dirty with it. You need to kind of take some space. There's no Winston, there's no Ryan or Genji. Your survivability isn't good enough. You got to get value. I like this, but we need to keep moving. We need to keep moving because this fight's moving, right? Because I like the Intergalactic Emperor thing here, right? The problem is that you can't see too many members of your team. And I prioritize you taking space forward here. This is all right. This is all right. I don't mind this. Good pull. Good pull. Now take top. Take top. Be a playmaker, right? Because look at what's happening here. You can help your Widow out. You can put pressure up here. I know it's scary because you're like, oh, I don't want to leave my tank. You have to. You have to. If your tank is not taking space properly and just sitting AFK and cart, and there's high grounds and different angles that you can do, take the space. Because if you think about it here, who's the person that's actually dying first here? Look carefully. You see her? Widow, right? And the Widow is the one that's doing something. If your Widow is able to stay here, this is how you win this fight right here. You need this Widow. Your Diva's just got a brain off. She's just shooting a Zarya on cart, right? She's not going to win this, right? You got to help your Widow up top. You got to help your Juno up top. You got to help, if your Sombra takes top, you got to help her too. It might mean letting your tank die. But this here, this is not... You're just not going to... And look, she dies anyway, right? You've been healing and healing and healing and healing, and she dies anyway. And then your Widow dies too. You got to take space. You've got to take space. You got to look for a high ground. You got to look for a sight line and so on. Provide value. Good? Yeah, I love this. Love this. But they don't just heal, right? Everyone's basically full. Get here. What should you be doing right now? Do you see it?
She's probably shooting at the enemy team.
Blam! Light her up right here. You right? You got no spread in your first couple of bullets. Help her out, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy to think like that, but it's useful. Heck, if you really want to, if you like, you know what? You could pull your tank up top. You could pull your support up here. You could be like, hey, you need to take high ground with me. You know, I don't even get her out. You know. All right, let's see here. Uh-oh. Wait, what happens here? She come for you?
Yeah, oh. And I attempted to wall her in the room.
It's a good try. Listen. Listen. I love the creativity. I'm not gonna hate. As long as you're being creative with what you're doing, I'm okay with it. Yeah, there you go. Go. Help her out. Again, get moving. Get up here, you know? Get moving. Help out your Sombra, help out your Symmetra. Oh, that's so unfortunate. You missed by like an inch. Oh no, that sucks. Oh, good idea. Really good idea. Okay, let's stop there and let's take some notes. All right. So, Lifeweaver. What do you got to work on? Be as specific as you possibly can. So there's no like vague terms. Be specific. What do you got?
What I need to work on is probably first and foremost, like having that when I'm not, I guess not playing so passively, but being able to play a little bit more, taking more angles, more space, especially when we're helping those who can, who are doing that, I guess.
Your living isn't good enough. Take space, take angles, take high ground. Look for offensive pressure plus heals on people taking space too. How does that look for you right there? I don't know if you can see your Discord channel there, but I put one little bullet point there.
Yes.
Okay.
I see.
When you are being dove, between fights, strategize your positioning, cover, and pedal use to avoid and live. It can be tricky, but it's worth practicing. How's that look?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then I want to see a little more damage when teammates are full instead of charging heal. Because it used to be, pre-charge heal because you might as well, because you have to have it ready, but it's going to charge on its own, so that's a little habit. Okay, those are the three things I want you to work on. 2 of them are big, 1 of them's little in terms of practice. But you can practice those and really look at the situation, decide what one do I want to practice. Maybe it's both, right? Maybe it's just that one Sombra, but there's no Winston. So you got to think about the Sombra, but I also got to take space at the same time, right? It could be a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. You can practice, but again, just practice those things and keep it real simple. Now, things that you were doing well, things you're doing well, I want to keep seeing. Keep up the proactivity with tree. Fight starts, use it. You did a great job with that. Keep going with that. I would say almost every single tree was good. Almost every single one, which is crazy impressive. Second thing, keep up the awareness of threats. Always doing a good job knowing where enemies are. Always, you were very aware of what's going on around you, and that's hard in console too, because it's just annoying to turn around. It's a lot easier in PC. Ideas with pulls were great. Keep up the good practice. I mean, they weren't perfect, but you weren't wasting pull for no reason. You always had a reason. You played it well. Yeah, I mean, and even honestly, like, damage opportunities were there. Often did a good job trying to do damage. Not perfect, but you weren't a heal bot Lifeweaver always either. So there's lots of good things. Lots of good things to build off of, really. Just a couple of adjustments, mostly in terms of how you're positioning and how you're getting value. Because this is, especially that first one, right? When you're not being dove, that's where you're going to get frustrated. When you're like, what am I supposed to do? You got to take some space. You got to use the beef that you got. That's your HP, your damage, your heal dash, your pedal, even your life grip, right? Pull people up there. You got to be more creative. You got to be more proactive, right? Because your living dives isn't good enough value. So then how are you going to provide value? And that's where you're limited by your creativity. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Now, the big thing is that you're not going to be Now, I won't even say smart enough, because you're not. It's the problem is not your intelligence. The problem is like the experience. You're not experienced enough to solve where you need to be and where your pedal needs to be at all times. But you still need to practice that, because the experience only comes with trying to make that decision over and over and over again. What we did in the replay review, when I asked, where could you be? Where could you pedal? Where could you go? When you sat there and you thought, that is what you need practice on. And you need to do that in the middle of the game. Even if you only have 5 seconds, 5 seconds is worth it. Even if you make the wrong decision, it's still worth it. Still worth it. You'll get there. Okay. Trust yourself. You're smart enough. Whenever you had the time, you always came up with the perfect solution. I'm talking about not like the perfect solution for gold. I'm talking about the perfect solution for Grand Master. When you don't have 30 seconds, yeah, you're welcome. When you don't have 30 seconds, 5 seconds of time is still better than 0 seconds, right? And you'll get faster and faster and faster the more you do it. In fact, you'll get so good one of these days that you won't even think about how to position yourself. You'll just do it. You'll just do it. Okay. Any questions?
No.
All right. Let's